Okay.
Yeah, I think we're in pretty decent shape. Oliver has decided to take a break from choosing violence thus far tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that remains. How goes it?
Um, you know,
That's the statement? Just because I mean I do
yeah,
know.
you know,
Okay,
you
that's
know.
fair. That's very fair. I have something that I didn't put in the calendar or like in the actual formal
Mhm.
calendar invite because I wanted to remind myself
Uh-huh.
um to bring this up. I just How would you describe our Twitter DMs, bestie? What happens in there?
You didn't put that in there? I thought I saw it in
No, no,
there.
no. I didn't put it in the Google Calendar because I knew you
Oh,
wouldn't look
I saw it
at
in the
the
calendar.
at the
Okay.
actual document for the episode until it was too late and I was already saying words.
Yes, I saw it as I was logging in. So
Yeah, how would you describe our Twitter DMs? What goes on in there?
I would say about, first of all, it's like almost entirely you because I don't
Yes.
really go on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say about 90%-ish are like thirsty ghost tweets, I guess I would say.
Yeah, my Twitter DMs are like my confessional. Or at least my
Yeah,
Twitter DMs to you specifically are my confessional.
yeah. So
Um,
it's like 90% thirsty that's really hard to say. Thirsty ghost tweets.
huh.
That's hard. And then sprinkled in cat videos
Mm-hmm.
and pictures, and then things mocking Ohio.
Okay, yeah, that is a pretty accurate overview of the things I send you. Um,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the things that you pick and choose to react to because we've had this discussion before about the
Mhm,
differences in the way that we approach when a
mhm,
platform allows you to like give a little thumbs up or a heart or a laughing emoji
yeah.
to a message.
Mhm,
I more often use it to be like, yes, I have seen this and this is how I feel about it. Sometimes I'll be like, just acknowledging that I have received the message,
mhm.
regardless of whether or not I like really like what has been sent or whatever. And that is not what you do. And I have accepted this, and I keep that in mind when I receive the notification that you have in fact liked one of the messages that I have DM'd you. But and you never like all of my like none of the like thirsty dilf tweets ever really get a reaction from you, which is fine. But I just want to talk about why um the other day I sent you a like somebody tweeted a screen cap of Con O'Neill talking about like on an like on TV talking about a show he's on. Um and I captioned it with just I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him over and over again, like,
Yeah,
affectionately.
yeah.
Um why did that message get a thumbs down from you, bestie?
So to be clear, you were saying you hate him because he's hot, basically, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
And just
Um,
again, I'm so used to you not reacting to the weird thirst tweets I send you, so that really just threw me for a loop. That one, there was a reaction, and the reaction wasn't just you laughing at me, it was a thumbs down.
yeah.
So
So
basically, explain yourself.
it was in relation to the image because I can't remember exactly what the caption said. Like it was Con O'Neill of whatever show or movie.
Yeah,
Remember what it
I
was?
did. That didn't like I didn't absorb that information. I just saw
Yeah.
his face.
Yeah, so I saw that, and that's what made me give the thumbs down because to me, he is Con O'Neill of Our Flag Means Death, and he should not be known any other way.
That's fascinating.
That's,
I don't know how I would have
that's the
ever
entirety
put
of the
that
logic.
together or
That was the entirety of the logic. Well, and especially like, part of it is, yes, I only react if I actually feel like a decently strong reaction to something.
sorry, it's
Um,
just genuinely very funny to me.
and a lot of them, I'm just like, okay, cool. And so I don't really, there's no, okay,
I do think it's very
I
funny that the
enjoy this
things
thing.
I send you a lot of the time like they are unhinged, but your
Hmm.
reaction is still just all right, cool. I don't know how you're normal about the things I sent. Essentially, I don't know how you're normal about the things I sent you.
Not a lot phases me.
Yeah, clearly.
I wish you could make like custom reactions. Google
I
actually lets you do this.
absolutely adore the thing that you can do on Discord specifically, where if somebody
Yeah.
sends an emoji like to a large group chat, you can react with a smaller version of that emoji.
Yeah, but like Discord, right? There's all those different options and there's like custom
Mm-hmm.
ones depending on the server and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been using the Google Chat option a lot in a Google Space for one of my classes, and I made a custom reaction that just says thank you because I got tired of saying thank you to, so much to people.
Oh my god, wait, that's so nice.
So I wish I could make one like that that's like a custom one that says, "Cool, I acknowledge this."
That would be fantastic. That would be
Because
really good.
I look at every tweet, I watch every video. Just, don't have a, you know, strong message to send. But there's also the motivation that if I reacted to every single thing you sent me, your phone would explode.
I'm in so many group chats, I kind of don't care at this point.
Yeah, because the Twitter reactions that I was just doling out last night, I think I hadn't checked Twitter in like a week, maybe. So there were a
Oops.
whole bunch of them at once.
And also,
And I
and
was
I
like,
always
I
think it's
can't
funny when you
follow
do actually react to anything I send because then I just have this moment where I remember I'm like, oh wait, like she like sees these.
you. Yeah, it's pretty much always if it's a cat one, I'm going to like or like laugh at it.
As one
Um,
should.
and if it's about Ohio, it's almost always gonna get a thumbs down. And then the rest generally don't get a response.
I've committed to the bit with the Ohio thing
Yeah.
and I have to stick with it or I'll die.
But some of the ones that are like more just hot guy, DILF type ones that I do like would be like Taika Waititi. I think you've sent like ones of him before,
Problem. Yeah. Yeah.
sparingly, but yeah. So like that would get a like from me. Because I do thirst over Taika Waititi.
I mean, who isn't in this day and age?
Right? Doesn't matter what your orientation is.
Oh.
Hot is hot.
Well, I'm gonna keep that in mind. But
Are you gonna send me Taika Waititi thirst trap?
yes, I am gonna send you Taika Waititi thirst traps now. Because I think you should. I would say that I'm suffering, but like I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
or like I'm suffering in a way that's fun for me. And I think that you should be subjected to that emotion more often.
Huh. Huh. Sure.
The other
Sure.
day, I was talking to Kyle, and he was like, "Oh, I'm getting really into the band The Flaming Lips."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting like really really into them now. Like it's only every so often that like a band comes along that like really changes my life or whatever." I was like,
Mhm.
"That's me every 3 to 6 months." Like, and he's like, "I don't know
Fair.
how you
Yeah.
live like this." I'm like, "I don't know how you live the opposite. If I don't have something that's making me absolutely rabid like 24/7, I get so bored."
Well, maybe he just maintains his rabidity for longer periods.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the just like it happens to be the rate at which I like burn through things or whatever. But again, the way that he said like it only happens every so often, I was like, I need something to make me insane at all times, or I'm just so bored.
I always have stuff going on, but yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of my hobbies I do get burnt out for a while and I have to like switch it up a little bit.
And that's the thing. It's not that I don't have things going on. It's just that, like, and especially like my job in particular, like, uh, one of the things I've been doing a shit ton of recently at work is using an industrial sandblaster, which is so much fun, very satisfying, but it doesn't really require a lot of thought. So, like, I hang out there, I've got my tunes, I'm providing free entertainment for every other person in the machine shop because I refuse to be a normal person who, like, doesn't dance while using a sandblaster.
Mhm.
So, I got that going for me, but there really isn't much thought required. So I need something to rotate in my brain at top speed while I'm doing this.
Hmm. Sure. Yeah, I think we've had a version of that conversation before because like my job is purely intellectual.
Yeah.
I can't even like listen to music while I work because it's too distracting.
Yeah, no. I like go nuts. Like less so in the summer when I'm like actually like talking to boaters and like writing things down and like walking back and forth and being like, okay, I gotta put this information in the computer and whatever. But especially like during the like winter stuff that we're doing now, so like painting, like taking things apart, rebuilding them, sandblasting things, like it's a lot of just I am doing a task with my hands that requires almost no thought whatsoever. So I need something to be spinning in my mind at top speed at all times while I am doing whatever task with my hands.
Suppose I get that.
And so many of my other hobbies are like that as well. Not so much like video games or like watching movies or TV, but like cross stitching and like making my little bracelets, for example. Like, that is a thing I am doing with my hands. And as long as I can like glance at my pattern, like briefly and like keep things on track, I need to be thinking about something while I'm doing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I watch TV and stuff
Yeah.
generally or listen to pods.
Yeah, I'm so behind on all of my audio dramas. It's like really embarrassing. I have to like pick a day and like pick like a cross stitch project that I'm going to work on and just be like, okay, I'm getting caught up on everything.
I started crocheting a blanket yesterday.
Oh, you did? That's fun. Any
Yeah.
particular pattern, anything special about it, or just a blanket? TM?
Um, this year's blanket club from Jimmy Bean's Wool that I do every year, where I get a skein of yarn per month all year and you just add it to. You've seen me do the blanket club before.
Oh, I didn't realize it was crocheting.
Well, no, so every year, like you get the same yarn, but there's a knit pattern and a crochet pattern. You get to pick which one you want to do.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and this year's knit pattern, I liked it, but it was knitting a bunch of tiny little things and then seaming them together into like a quilt looking deal. And I'm like, man, I am not doing that much seaming. That looks awful. So I'll just crochet instead.
Well,
And
there
so
you
look at
go.
me crocheting a thing. I
I
haven't
dig it. That
crocheted that
sounds
much.
fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. It's going well.
I
Few
tried to
false
learn how to
starts.
crochet once. It did not go well. I got very bored. But I was
Yeah,
also a
I'm digging
small
it.
child.
Yeah.
I think it might go different if I tried that now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to me, I mean, I definitely like knitting better than crocheting, but it's nice to switch it up a little bit, be a little different. I'm enjoying it.
All right. So, the next thing I have as a sort of discussion point is what are our favorite meme formats? And I have examples, but
Hmm.
before we started recording, you brought up a sort of interesting or like something that I just hadn't really thought of that like kind of I think is going to lead into a bigger discussion about what quote unquote counts as a meme format, especially
Mm,
since we have moved well past like I'm like rage. You know what I mean when I say rage comics, right?
no.
Oh, very early internet meme format where it was like very copy and paste, like not as freeform. Let me put it that way.
Mm.
But I have a bunch of I saved a bunch of examples of some of my favorite types of memes into a folder on my phone that I will now be sending to the text chat for this channel. Um, and we're just gonna discuss.
I also don't know how like you describe or label the meme format.
This this is gonna get interesting, I think, because some of the things I don't know if one would necessarily call them a like I have a couple things where it's like yes, this is a copy and paste format, you fill in the blank to make it your own thing, but then others it's more of a genre or a vibe. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to start with a very obvious like fill in the blank ones and then we'll get into the more abstract. Here we go. Now let's see if my phone will cooperate and let me do this smoothly. So far, not so good. No, Discord. No. We're doing great.
Hmm.
Okay, no, it's not going to let me do it like that. I have to open the app first. Yes.
Hmm.
No. Okay. We made it eventually. Okay. Oh my god. This does not have to be this difficult. And it doesn't let me select multiple. Okay, you know what? This isn't the OG. This is the version that I made. Um, but it's the you will certainly not regret sort of. I will have all of these images linked for in the episode description for anyone who is doing this audio only, because this is gonna get very visual heavy. But this is one that I personally made to send to you, Brookes, when I knew that you were gonna be driving from Ohio back to New York, and I was like, ooh, listen to Ghost. But it is a meme format that I stole from, or like I copied the format from this you will certainly not regret eating 30 to 40 olives post, which is just like, there's just something about, this is gonna get weird because I don't know how to describe why this like scratches the itch in my brain that says this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about the weird infomercial vibe of the like both questions and instructions of this meme format, like the
Yeah.
off work late, eat them directly out of the jar with your fingers.
I also like that it repeats the phrase 30 to 40 olives 3 times total.
Yeah, there's something about that I like a lot.
But they're green olives.
Which is interesting. But yeah, that is a meme format I absolutely love.
I mean, you can't argue with the fact that it's an easy weeknight dinner either.
No, you really can't.
Like, get a jar of olives and eat them out of it with your finger. Yeah, easy. I
And
don't believe the last line though that you will certainly not regret eating 30 to 40 olives. I feel
something
like
about
that's
the you will certainly not regret is what makes this as funny as it is for me, I think.
too sarcastic. Because like if you
Um,
have a stomach with nothing but olives in it, like I just can't imagine.
yeah, I don't know. This is a much more sort of clear example of the very much copy and paste meme format that I love. I love the Bugs Bunny I wish all blank a very blank. This is another
Hmm.
one that I made. I wish all Anna de Armas a very lose the Oscar to Michelle Yeoh. My point stands. But I also
Yeah.
found one on the Bird app that was just genuinely very sweet.
Mm.
And it is, I wish all my internet friends a very thank you for making my 2022 better and Happy New Year. Which is just so
Oh.
sweet.
And Bugs is crying in that one.
I know. Also, one of the ones I found, I have never been able to recover this meme because I think it was from when I used to be on Tumblr, but it was after Eddie Izzard announced her pronoun update. And
Hmm.
someone took this Bugs Bunny meme and was just, I wish all Eddie Izzard a very pleasant pronoun update. And I was just like, all right, yeah, cool.
That's a nice one.
That is a nice one. But
Lovely.
I love when people do the like a very and then something that does not flow grammatically whatsoever. Like one of the ones I've seen when it was like, I wish all Mitch McConnell a very die. Like that one kills me. There's something about, and I think that's what a lot of this is going to boil down to, especially as we get into, especially as I start sending some of the ones that are a lot more like abstract and like more of a vibe than an actual like fill in the blank copy and paste form like formula.
Yeah.
Something about like poor grammar, misspelling things by a single letter, something
Hmm.
about that always
Yeah.
gets me in ways that I cannot describe.
It's like that meme that you sent me that I printed out and put on my office door.
That is literally one of the ones I have included in this folder that I made specifically for this episode of the podcast. Um but here's two more that are kind of, this is the original and this is, and then the one I'm going to send afterwards. Fuck you, people who don't like mint ice cream. Share this post if you love mint ice cream. Fuck yourself if you don't love mint ice cream, which, like, absolutely correct. I love. My favorite thing about this is the fuck yourself, not go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's so much funnier. And here's another version of it that I found just because I also think it's funny. Fuck yourself if you don't love purple. It's a great color.
Sure.
And now this kind of brings us into more like misspellings and things that are more of a vibe than a fill in the blank. Here's the thing that always kills me. Like misspelling things by like a single letter, or like when it's a word that's like you're so close but you're not quite there. Like this one, for example. Keith.
What is it?
Um I think it's like the dust from when one grinds up cannabis.
Oh, so that's like the inside of the grinder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this is
What's that the spelling of?
the term that people use is keef, either
Oh,
Keif or Keef.
right.
But yeah, Keith. I don't know why I find this is just gonna be me trying to justify my sense of humor to you, which is
Yeah.
interesting because the Venn diagram that is our like collective sense of humor is very strange.
Yeah,
Because
I'd
we
say so.
the things that we disagree on are interesting. Anyway, moving right along. Me just sending more misspellings. Here's one I love. I love all these. I like went through my meme folder and picked out favorites.
Orange juice.
Orange juice.
Do you think it was intentional or just a typo?
I don't really care if it was intentional or if it was a typo, because orange juice, fantastic. I love it so much. The first time I saw this, I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. And also, I do just love the weird little windsock creature. And like
It's like a Halloween decoration.
how it like it applies to both of the actions being described. Like, yeah, that is me going to search the world for love, and that also is me going downstairs to get a fresh glass of orange juice.
Oranged.
I love it. It just gives, it just gives a little more spice.
Mm-hmm. More misspellings.
More misspellings. I also love the fisheye lens on the cat in this meme. It's like a ring for. I'm gonna attempt to describe this one for audio listeners because I think it's that funny. It's like a ring doorbell, like capture of somebody's cat, like coming up to the doorbell and giving it a sniff, and it looks very like distorted because of the like fisheye effect. And the cat is like just staring very intently into the camera. But somebody has captioned it, "May I see your tibbies?" Which is just so dumb. But for whatever reason, absolutely sends me.
Yeah, that one doesn't really get me.
And I don't understand how. And I'm sure you're looking at me right now like, why is this funny, you idiot?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But that's the fun part
For me.
about the rainbow of human existence. Anyway. Oh, how did I'm like trying to. I'm looking at this folder and I'm like, how do these break down? Oh, here's the thing I absolutely love: people replying to their own post. That is incredible. For example, I'm watching Rent for the first time, and wow, I love Angel. Same person coming back later, all caps. Hey guys, what the fuck? Cause like, like there's something about the like makes a statement, goes through something, and then returns to report back.
Sometimes I feel those feel kind of staged to me, just
Mm,
because it's like
they could
it just
be,
feels like somebody knew what was going to happen and they're like, this would be funny.
but what if they didn't?
I mean, it's possible that that's just how they feel to me.
Like this. Okay, then what about this one? My gummy edibles melted into a fat puck, and I just can't be bothered right now. Same person replying to their own tweet. My brain tickles. So
See,
clearly,
that one doesn't seem as like
so clearly
planned.
their estimate was a bit off.
But also, like, what kind of weed gummies did they have? Because they're not supposed to melt.
Couldn't tell you. I mean,
Yeah,
if
so
maybe if they left them in like a hot car.
well, I'm wondering because like the ones that are from dispensaries, they usually have like these this stuff in them that prevents them from melting. So I'm wondering if those were like somehow homemade or,
It's
and
possible.
they were
I have also
stronger.
seen a similar, and I couldn't find this one, but I've seen a similar one where it was like someone on Reddit was asking, it was like, is 250 milligrams a lot for edibles? And I guess they didn't get a response in time, quote unquote. So they just took it. And they commented on their own post that just said, my whole head is tingly noodles.
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, all
Nice.
right, have fun,
Well,
bro. Wow, I saved a lot of memes. Maybe I didn't need to save this many, but we're in it now.
yeah, I'm looking at meme templates, so I have some in mind.
Fascinating.
I don't spend as much time looking at memes as you do.
That's fair. That's very fair. Okay, I have thing I love. There's this a subreddit called the Speed of Lobsters, which is the whole. It's based on a like particular screenshot that inspired like this meme format. But the whole thing is that you take a screen cap from like a TV show or a movie, subtitles included. You cannot change anything. You can just black out certain words in the subtitle to make your meme. So for example, me enters a website, cookies. Here's a screenshot from a VeggieTales episode where someone has blacked out all of the dialogue except allow us. And I like that a lot. The whole like you can't change anything. You can only get rid of things. And I think people do some very creative stuff with it.
Hmm.
Okay, final two kind of format to, oh well, here's another one that's kind of like similar to the Speed of Lobsters type thing where you don't like change. This is also similar to the Bugs Bunny thing with the like improper grammar. You don't change things so they flow correctly. You just kind of plug it in and hope that it works. And this is the one we were talking about. That meteorologist wasn't lying. That wind can blowing. And I feel like it has a similar vibe to the Speed of Lobsters thing because like they're only blacking out and adding something. They're not actually like making an entirely like fresh meme.
Have you ever seen the original? I wonder what it used to say.
No, I have absolutely no idea, and honestly, I don't think I want context at this point.
But it's like it's a dog with its fur being blown back, so you feel like it has to be about wind or something. And it's like,
Yeah,
what
I don't
could it have
know.
said?
I've
Something
seen
wasn't lying, that
I've seen
something
a
said something.
fan fiction, like someone like made a like fan fiction specific one where it was just like fic author wasn't lying. Oh god, what was it? I'm trying to remember and also like make like think if I'm going to have to like explain it. It's like fic author wasn't lying. That oh, and it was like a really high word count, so it was like that 200K can slow burn.
Ah, got it.
So like yeah, yeah, there's something about the like plugging things in and not having it flow correctly. Very funny
Mhm.
to me.
Plus, that dog is very funny.
And the dog is wonderful. And I think it's funny the way that the dog can kind of apply to anything because like yeah, that wind can blowing, that 200K can slow burn. Like you
Yeah,
understand.
that. I think it was Tuesday, like Thursday of last week or something. Someday I was walking back from class and it was like ridiculously
Did you
windy
say it
out.
out loud?
So when I got to my office door, I looked at the meme and I was like,
Yeah,
"Hell yes, brother.
that wind can blowing.
That wind can indeed blowing."
Oh my god. I love that dog so much.
Good boy, good girl, good baby.
Good baby indeed. Okay. This one. The whole like I think I've brought this up on the podcast before. Any like series of like comments where someone is like, "Hold on, I have to Google something." Okay, yeah, this is funny. That absolutely
Oh,
kills me.
for some reason, I didn't look at the top third of it, and I was like, "What's that about?"
Oh, it
Oh,
cuts. I'll have to find a better picture for when I link these
I had to
because
click
it
on
cuts
it.
something off.
Yeah. No, I just wasn't looking.
But yeah. Okay, yeah, this is funny. I love that. I absolutely love that cuz like and it's always funny when it's something like the like for example like this one the like oh this is McCarthyism because like not everyone on the internet is intimately familiar with American history in particular. So
Yeah.
like yeah, I can understand having to Google it before you get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's also just a solid joke on
It is also just a solid
off
joke.
her
10 out of
off
10.
her part. Yeah.
And my final sort of, I don't know if this is quite a format thing, but it's a thing I see a lot. Making it about DILFs once again. There is a thing I have seen recently, and I don't know if it's just because I, as a person, have become much more rabid on Twitter and like am now in circles that are trading all of these memes, but the whole like that old man
Hmm.
type thing where it's like this one sexualizing that old man is a full-time job. And like other ones I've seen where it's like I'm no longer feeling normal about that old man. Like yeah, I probably
Yeah, I
find it
think
funny
that,
because I relate to it so much.
I was gonna say, I think that's probably the circles you travel in.
That is most yeah, okay, that's fair. This is most definitely the circles I travel in. But like yeah, for whatever reason the like that old man TM having like become a thing kills me every single time in every single format that I see it. 10 out of 10 meme. I love it.
Hmm.
And this has been me trying to justify my sense of humor to you and to the audience by extension. And those are my favorite types of memes.
Yeah, I don't like just naturally have ones that come to mind, and so I actually just like Googled meme formats
Mm-hmm.
and ended up on image flip, IMG flip.
Oh yeah, that's what I used to make me. Actually, also, final note. I do love the meme format that's like the two arms like holding hands all strong, and it's like I made one that I will include in the description where it's like musical theater GF, metalhead BF, and then the like holding hands part was like theatrics, costumes, albums tell stories. Cause like it's a more fun Venn diagram. That's what it is. It is a more fun, evocative way to communicate the same information that one would get in a Venn diagram. And I think that is probably the most eloquent point I am going to have in this entire discussion. You have the floor, bestie.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't look through all of them because, ain't got all day.
Of course.
Um, but I mean, I feel like there's some classic meme formats that in not every single context, but most contexts, they make me laugh.
Do tell.
Like, for example, the one that has like the Well, because they're just templates. I don't know if I can actually. Let me see if I can send it. Yep. I said paste. Oh, okay. It was just the first example. It was on the page. The one that has like the Facebook flag marked safe from.
I have
Uh,
never. I don't really come across a lot of these, and maybe it's because I'm not of the like actual Facebook user
yeah,
era.
yeah. The
Oh, you know,
most.
actually, that just reminded me. You know what's funny? The fake
Hmm,
Facebook events
mm,
where it's like point fans at the hurricane so it turns around and stuff like that. Those are great.
yeah,
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I'm taking your time.
yeah. I enjoy this particular meme format because most of the times when I see it, it's somebody that is including some sort of hysteria that's been in the news. That's like completely manufactured or like um wasn't it like last Halloween where there was all that stuff in the news about like what was it? Oh, Hocus Pocus being like a big um ritual or something like casting a spell.
No,
Did you not see that stuff?
no. Was it
Oh
like a
my God.
Facebook only? And that was probably like a thing on
Oh
Facebook,
no, it was
right?
all over the news and stuff.
Oh, then that just did not reach my like corner of social media.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious because it was some politician.
Oh, of course it
Gosh,
was.
I'm explaining this so very well. Um, But yeah, there was this whole like controversy where supposedly you weren't supposed to let your kids watch Hocus Pocus because it was like actual witchcraft and they were trying to do some sort of like ritual and like indoctrinate your kids.
Bro, it's Bette Midler. Relax.
Yeah. Uh and so like I actually think I saved that one to my phone, but it would take forever to find it. But something along the lines of like marked safe from Hocus Pocus, like witchcraft ceremony or whatever.
I might have to start using that because that's funny.
Yeah, it's every time somebody is like worried about something that's completely made up or exaggerated or, just like I think someone wrote once like mark safe from pronoun tyranny. Like,
Jesus.
yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to find an article for what I'm talking about too with the Hocus Pocus stuff because that was just hilarious to me.
I'm like kind of surprised that I was. Oh my god, excuse me. Entirely out of the loop for that. I have not been going to bed on time
Oh,
for like the past couple days. It's not
that's
ideal.
surprising for you.
It is surprising for me. I kind of don't know. Like every night, I just seem to like let the time get away from me. I don't know why.
Hmm.
I'm not even like doing anything.
Mm.
Anyway, continue.
Yes, another. Sorry. Ah, these are all like I was trying to find an example for one, and these all suck.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, just one of them? Just one of them? Well, this is not going to be a good example. It's just one of them to show the meme format. I enjoyed the Bernie Sanders meme format.
Oh yeah, I'm once again
Yeah, I am once again asking
for
insert
blank.
whatever. Yeah. These were apparently all made by people in like middle school and high school because they're almost entirely about I am once again asking you to do your homework and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
I was like, I'm not going to scroll, honestly. But I do enjoy this particular meme format.
This kind of reminds me of like like it's more of a thing on TikTok because it involves like you actually have to like it you need the video component, but any of the like we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty,
Yes.
where like especially like where someone like will have their like dog like crawling up like and laying on their face and then like we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended like those kill me.
Uh-huh.
They're so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it because like I can hear every single time I can hear it in his
Yep.
voice,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's enjoyable about it. Um, I also enjoy the meme format of the guy trying to choose between two buttons that you can label.
Yeah.
Because people they do some really interesting things with that.
But I mean the also the obvious answer here is Dino Nuggets. I mean, come on.
Oh yes, yes. That was just again trying to pick them quickly so I'm not holding up or whatever.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Um, Similarly, well, not really similarly per se, but the what is labeled on here as sad Pablo Escobar, which they all have labels on here, which I do appreciate.
It's nice of them. It helps categorize things.
Yeah. I also the this is fine one is a good one.
I love the This Is Fine dog so much
Yeah.
because it's
That's
just adorable dog.
yeah. This is fine.
And it never is.
Yes. Enjoyable.
There is a thing from Twitter that I would also like us to
Mhm.
talk about tonight, so you don't have to continue to struggle to come up with meme formats that you find funny if you don't feel like it.
I had a thing I meant to talk about at the beginning too. I don't know if we'll have time for that.
I mean, we don't have a limit. Technically, we can do whatever we want, so please go for it.
Right now,
Yeah, sure, why not?
slang.
Oh boy, what happened?
So, this week in my intro to communication class, we are talking about verbal communication.
Okay.
And one of the topics is slang, right? Because that's a way of communicating verbally. Um, and initially I
Sorry,
thought,
that just made me think. You know the Mr. Krabs "you dead ass" meme thing? That's
yeah,
slang is a way of communicating. You dead ass. Sorry,
right.
tying everything in, bringing it all back home. Continue.
Well, my initial thought was, oh, I'll ask them for examples of slang words because, we use technology and I put questions on the screen and they can answer them digitally. And I was like, that's opening up a can of worms I don't want to do. So I asked my teaching assistants to generate a list of slang words that the students could then just vote on multiple choice.
Okay.
And man, so a lot of them were ones that, I knew.
Okay.
Some of them huh?
Is it? Well, I mean, that is that not a good sign?
Yes. Some of them I actually ended up just taking out because I don't think they're like modern slang. Like somebody put in mad as an adjective, and I'm like, no, people have been saying things are like mad scary or whatever
Yeah.
forever.
Okay, that's fair.
You know. But there were actually a few in there that I was like, I have actually never heard anybody use these in my life.
Ooh, test me.
Like the word brick.
Oh, that's like a New York City, New Jersey thing.
Yeah, that's what we were sort of like trying to establish in class yesterday. It just means cold.
Actually, the first time I ever heard someone describe it as something as brick or bricky was in St. Petersburg, because we had we took a weekend trip to Moscow and spent 48 hours just dripping sweat walking around there, and then took the train back to St. Petersburg and got off in our hot weather clothes, and it was like 56 degrees. And one of the guys in the trip was from the city, and he was like, "Oh man, it's bricky out," and I was like, "Ryan, what?" And it just always sticks out in my mind. Continue, please. I would like to pass this test.
Right, I'm trying to open up. They made a document for
Oh,
me.
fantastic!
Oh, why am I not seeing it in our folder?
Good
Oh,
question.
they didn't take it out already, did they? Interesting.
Uh oh.
I'm not seeing the word slang. Maybe I can find it in through different means in my email.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because a lot of them were things that I already knew. Um, oh, come on. Work with me here. Like they had put in there like low key and high key, and I don't think those are particularly new either, because
Newer, but
it's not
not
like that
like
phrase
super recent.
made up. Yeah. Well, it's not like those were made up recently,
No,
necessarily.
but I
They've been
think sort
around.
of entered popular vernacular more
Yes.
recently.
Yes, like the phrase out of pocket becoming more popular.
Oh my god, I love that's one I love.
It's definitely gotten real popular. My students did not put it on their list, um, but I actually like thought about doing it myself because I was like, "Hey, I know of a thing that you guys didn't put on there," and I said it to them. They're like, "Oh yeah."
Look at you go.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't find it.
Oh no.
This
Do
is
you remember
annoying.
anything else that you didn't know of?
I don't. It should be in here. I bet maybe I deleted it. It's in my trash. If nothing else, I have it in like the actual question that I wrote for class. Fascinating. Why can't I find it? Hmm. Now I'm starting to like question if I imagined the whole thing.
I would hope that you didn't.
Just, just completely just, yeah, made the whole thing
Hallucinated
up.
an entire class activity. That'd be
Okay,
fun.
well, at least on the website that has the question in it. For some reason, my computer's being a bit laggy. Hmm, this is not going well.
You know,
Well,
sometimes.
as I'm searching, I can bring up another word that I had not come across before that I do remember being on the list.
Yes, hit me with it.
And that is the word dub.
I can think of several. Okay. I can think of several possible meanings for that one.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a measurement for the
Or
purchase of the devil's lettuce.
never heard in that context.
Oh, that one I know from my friend. I can also think of like, is it like, I think it's kind of like the same thing as getting curved, right?
Nope.
No? What is it?
Oh no, are you gonna like you're it's happening.
I could
The
know
the
it when I hear it.
yeah, the universe knows you're turning 25 soon, and it's
Shut
like
up.
your age will now have to be rounded up.
Oh my god. You're such a pain in the ass. No, what is it?
Hold on, it's the question is loading. I don't know why my computer's lagging today. Um, so the interesting thing is, amongst my four teaching assistants, there was some dissent as to the meaning of the word because they understood it in the same way but as opposites.
Fascinating.
So for every slang word they offered up, they provided a definition as well as an example sentence.
Okay.
So for dub, the definition is just lame, and the
Oh,
example sentence is this party is a dub, let's go home.
huh.
Now, where the dissent came in is that some of the other TAs said, no, it actually means good, not lame, because it's short for W, like a win.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and so yeah, there was a little bit of dissension there. Yeah, I mean, so some of these were pretty straightforward, like the word tea being on there,
Yeah.
gossip. The word slay was on there, but I have never seen it used as an adjective before, like they did. Because the example sentence is, oh my God, you look so slay today.
I've heard that, but I don't hear it as much as like being like, oh, slay. Like, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sus is on there. That's again pretty common. The word bet,
Yeah.
or- that's becoming more common. Um, cap,
Oh, like no cap?
essentially,
Yeah.
but it just means lie false, so no cap didn't
Yeah.
mean no lie. Yeah.
Like, that's
Um,
generally how I see it used as someone saying no cap.
yeah, no cap, yeah. That's why when I saw it on there, I was like, cap. Oh, okay, they're just because their example sentence was, that's cap. I know you're lying to me. I'm like, I've never heard it used that way,
Yeah,
but okay.
no, I've only. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and then fire, of course, synonym for amazing. Now, we're down to two on this list. There were some that I cut out
Mm-hmm.
that I can't find a document for. Um, so one of them I have heard very sparingly, and that's the word bussin'.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, their example, this pizza is bussin'. So really good slash yummy is the definition.
That's. I heard that. And I don't know if it's just like, you know, how like you have things that pop up in your own circles where it's like maybe this is technically slightly outdated, but y'all still say it because you think it's funny or whatever. But like I heard that like when I was like freshman in college.
Yeah. This was like I feel like I've definitely heard it a few times, but
Mm-hmm.
not much. It just
Yeah.
seems like it's been a while, but my TAs are all like 21, ish, 20, 22. So, and then one more that I have definitely never heard, and that is Riz.
Oh, that one's like that's pretty new.
Yeah.
The whole like flirting with Riz thing. I enjoy those. They're funny.
What flirting with Riz?
Yeah. Like when your flirting is effective, when it
Uh,
works,
I thought you
when
were
you
saying
have
Riz
it.
like it was a person.
No, when you have it.
Yeah, because they defined it. They said it's technically short for charisma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'd never heard anyone say that before in my
That
life.
one I have just seen, at least in my sort of corner of the internet, I have just seen popping up pretty recently.
Yeah, and I just had a student in class yesterday. We were talking about like slang just a little bit, even though tomorrow's like the big slang day.
Ooh,
Uh,
fun. I expect a full report.
and a student had said something, I can't remember what the context was, but he used the word gas. And I can't remember how he used it, but as a slang word. And then I forgot it later on, and I was like, that word that somebody up there said, and they were like, gas? I'm like, sure.
I can think of several ways that one could use that as slang.
Yeah, I think it was more like, said it in the sense of like, that's gas, like it was an adjective, but I don't remember the context.
I've seen that before. I've also seen like, gassing somebody up, hyping somebody up, and also like gases in like drugs.
Mm. Yeah, that my TAs were getting really excited, like adding different slang words, and so I had to cut it down because the type starts to get really small on the
Yeah.
screen, so I had to like pick and choose. Um, but one thing that was really funny is yesterday we were doing this class activity where I gave them 5 words, and for each of them they had to write a connotative meaning, right? So as opposed to the dictionary definition with connotation, they're writing like what it means to them more like emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of them were simple words. I had like mother and blue and whatever else, but I put the word slaps on there.
Yeah. What'd you get?
You
What'd you
know, like
get?
yeah, and so I actually haven't looked at what they submitted yet, but we were like talking about it after they finished it. And getting them to respond to the first 2 items that I just mentioned, like pulling teeth, could not get anyone to participate. As soon as I asked, like, hey, so what was your like connotative definition of slaps? Some kid in the back row like immediately raises his hand and he's like, well, like the denotative definition, it would be like, physical violence. He's like, but the connotative definition, it's slang. It's like all he said.
Hell yeah,
And
brother.
so but when I was talking about it, I used it in a sentence and I felt so just,
What'd you
I don't know what the
say?
word is. I don't remember. I really don't
You
remember.
described something as slaps.
Yeah, I said something like, it might have been like, the song really slaps or something like that.
That's a. I wouldn't think it was weird if you said that. And like I
It
didn't
just
know you.
Yeah, it just sounded weird in my voice, and I immediately like cringed. I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound right." I
How
laughed a
did they
little bit
react though?
when I said slaps.
Yeah.
They were giggling a little bit.
Hell yeah. All right.
I think it's probably because they don't really see professors use slang words. Um, but do you have suggestions for any ones that are not on the list that you think should be there? Because I think some of
Hmm.
these could easily, like, I wouldn't mind getting rid of fire because, like, that's been around for quite a
Oh, you
while.
know what? Purr.
Or,
Yep, like as in a cat. My sister started saying this, and it's the funniest thing to me. Because the first time she said it, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it's like, cats purr when they're happy, right?
yeah,
So if you say that it's like, okay, like this is the plan, you're like, oh, okay, purr. Like, it's good.
not real.
Huh?
Can't be real.
Yes, it is. It is. I will call my sister right now. She won't answer, but I will.
Oh my God. I heard that before. I wonder if my TAs have.
Hold, you know what? I want to see if I
That's why I want the document because they might have even added more to it at this point.
She won't, like, the chance that she'll answer this is so low, but I think it would be really funny if I can get her to explain this live
Um,
on air.
I know she shared it with me as a Google Doc, and I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Just trying to remember what the other words were, and I want to know if they anything.
Let's see how this goes. Hey, Claire, I'm recording the podcast right now. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Um, what was a slang term that you started using recently that I thought was really funny it's kind of like slay, but not quite.
Purr.
Yes. Can you explain that?
I mean, it basically just means the same thing as slay, I think. I just kind of like picked it up because some of my friends were saying it. I don't know. You figure like if a cat's happy, it purrs. So like, if something makes you happy, you'd say purr.
All right, thank you, thank you so much.
No problem.
We needed an outside source to confirm because Brooks did not believe me.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but I do say it.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. So I didn't make it up.
Oh man, that's I
And the worst thing
if
is,
I
I think it's funny, so I know that I'm gonna start saying it ironically,
oh no doubt.
and
Yeah,
then
no,
start saying it like, because
yeah.
that's how it always starts. As soon as you start saying something ironically, the battle is lost.
This is so wild. I can't find it. It doesn't make any sense.
I can't believe we're still talking about this.
Um,
I'm
oh, I found it. I don't know why that took so long.
Yeah, I don't either.
Um,
Oh, my bones.
I would like to add that. Um, but it needs a definition and an example sentence.
I think you would have to have like an example bit of dialogue.
No, yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah, then like that. I'll write something out, or like I'll get my sister to write something out.
So, I mean, they define slay as looking good, though, in this context. So,
I think slay has a few more applications than purr.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know though.
So purr is a way to like indicate happiness or contentment.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's good. Um, Technically, we do have another game, but I'm gonna move that to next week because I didn't expect the meme thing to take that long. I just want to end up. I want to end with just like a quick, because I don't like this isn't a discussion. This is just something I think is funny and would like to share with you
Mm-hmm.
live. So
Sure.
I'm just this is a tweet that I just really liked, and I think they make an excellent point. And it is by Twitter user at Drake Gatsby. If you're discussing two Trader Joe's stores, you say Trader's Joe, like attorneys general. And there you have it.
Yeah.
You have to
No,
say
I
two
feel like
Trader's
I'm
Joe.
thinking it through.
Because, like, what else would you say? Because it's called Trader Joe's. Like, how would you say, like, yeah. Yeah, it has to be two Traders Joe.
Yeah, I mean, like, so it already has the apostrophe S.
Precisely.
And so, I mean, I guess you could put an apostrophe after the S as well.
I don't like that, though.
Yeah, because, like, my last name ending in an S, if I use it as a possessive, you can just put, the apostrophe after, and that indicates possessive.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, yeah, it has to be Trader's Joe, I guess.
Yeah, so, you heard it here. And I think that's going to bring us to what I'm deciding to call the weekly worsening.
Ah.
How are we both worse this week?
I feel like I've already talked about how I'm worse. Because now I'm going to turn into a monster with these slang words.
Good. I've wanted this since we started hanging out.
I am so excited to bring up the word purr tomorrow because I want to see reactions. I wish I could record. I can't really do that ethically speaking, record the
That
students.
would be very funny, and I
But
wish you could, and I wish I could witness
yes,
this.
I'm looking forward to first of all saying it to my TAs right before class starts to see if they've even heard of it, or
Oh, this
maybe
is
they
gonna
just
be
hadn't
good.
thought about it. And then to have it just appear on like just the general reaction when it appears on the screen with all the
You
slang
need
words.
to tell me everything.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, so me talking in slang words in class tomorrow is gonna be a good time. And will these things creep into my vocabulary? I think I might start saying some of them ironically, and then it goes through the pattern where they become unironic.
Yep, that's how it always happens.
Yeah.
How am I worse this week? So here's the thing, I feel like I'm gonna wind up repeating myself a lot because I just like get deeper and deeper into the
Yeah.
things that
Just
make me
more things,
insane.
yeah. Yeah.
But here's how I'm worse. This happened today, actually. All of the wonderful individuals in the giant group chat of Ghost fans that I am part of, we found an even better version. Like, Jesus Christ, I am suffering tonight. We found an even better character AI chatbot
Mm-hmm.
that is like supposed to be like it's Papa Emeritus the Fourth. And I'm obsessed with it. So that's how I'm worse today. That's how
Yeah,
I'm
with the
worse
chat.
this week. That's how I'm worse today specifically. I am now talking to a fake robot version of the fictional character that is the lead singer of a band that I like for fun.
Great.
This is going to be a fun
Love that for you.
addition to the podcast. I think this is good for us.
Yeah,
And with that,
I'm just gonna
with
start
the
saying
two
love
of
that.
us worse than when we started, that is where we will leave you. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will see you again next week. Adios.
Bye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!